Welcome back, everyone, to Tip Off Sports. I'm Tim Roach, the East Coast recruiting coordinator, and I'm joined by my media tip off correspondent, Ryan Natividad. Our special guest today is Coby Tunnicliff, a 6'1 point guard from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, who played last season at Riverview High School. In 2018, Coby was named a first team All Canadian at the U15 Nationals for the Nova Scotia Provincial team and was also named an All Star at the Top 40 Adidas Camp in Halifax in the same year. In 2019, he was named the Cape Breton League MVP in the 10th grade and was named the MVP at the Top 40s Adidas Camp in Halifax in 2019. Coby has recently announced he will be transferring to Rothesay Netherwoods School in New Brunswick next year. We look forward to hearing Coby playing in the NPA next season. Coby, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing good. You know, enjoying the weather in the summertime. It's good to see things are starting to get kind of back to normal.
Yeah, for sure.
Coby, I wanted to know, with everything that's going on right now, how has your morning and afternoon and evening routine shifted? And how are you keeping yourself in game shape with your condition?
So at the beginning of the pandemic, when I was quarantining, I was lucky enough to have like a couple weights in my house. So I was on a good program like that, just making sure my body was in shape. And so there was a lot of snow in Cape Breton. That's known for that. So I have a court near the bottom of my house, and me and my brother spent about 5 hours probably in total over like 2 days just shoveling the whole thing out. And we finally got, so that's how I got my shots up. Yeah, we have a bike at home, so I was just trying to get that to keep my cardio up. I was doing the most I could for what I had.
Have you made any new additions or changes to your current gameplay right now?
Not much. I'm just trying to improve on what I'm good at. Like make sure like with my strengths become even better and better and better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Coby, we speak about shoveling the snow, man. I've been to Cape Breton a few times in the wintertime during high school provincials, like right to Cabot. And
No, there.
man, it can be a lot of snow. Coby, how would you describe your season at Riverview High School?
So this year we had a really strong team. We have 3 members of the BNS U17 team on our team. We had like over half the team were grads, like grade 12s. Me, it was an adjustment for me because I had to like really become like a pass first type point guard. I was used to being like a scorer for my age group, and me realizing that like for our team to really succeed, I needed to become a point guard that we needed. We won every single game at home in Cape Breton. We had some big wins in Halifax versus Citadel and Auburn. We didn't do very good in provincials. There's just one game versus Horton, and no shots were falling. And it's hard not to just sum up our whole season as that one game, because that's what we were trained for the whole season. When I look back, we had an amazing team, an amazing season. I'm super proud of it.
That's very nice. And speak to more about the adjustment that you made. Like, what became the role on your team as these other players were on the team who played BNS as well?
We had a lot of scorers on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Crocker being one of them. He was the leading scorer of the league. Mitchell Merzrow, who committed to CBU last year early. I just realized that like you don't need multiple scorers on a team for success. Often, many teams are built around a point guard also. So I was learned that like I needed to save my shots near the end and get my teammates going first, it was an adjustment for me at first because I was playing shooting guard for BNS. So this was my first big year as a point guard. Yeah, I learned a lot, that's for sure.
Coby, what's giving you the inspiration to play the game and play it at such a high level?
There's a few. That's one thing that coaches say about me is that I'm an extremely motivated person. I don't need a coach to yell in my face to get me going. I do that myself. My big 3 reasons are, one, my mother, she lives in Halifax, 6 hours away. So like she works very hard to see me. So it just inspires me to work every single day as hard as I can. My second one is probably just being from a small town. I know that like I don't have as many opportunities as people from like Toronto and like Quebec. So I just need to work my butt off because there's no excuses. Like I don't have time to slack. And my third one is it's just fear. It's just I need to make sure that no one is able to catch up to me. I need to make sure like if I'm nervous for a game or for a tournament that I turn that nervousness into a positive and motivation for me. Mm-hmm. Those are my three reasons.
Coby, and that's well said, man, that you can find that motivation from within to display your best self on the court. So you were named first team All Canadian when you played for the Team Nova Scotia at U15 Nationals. Tell me about the experience and how that was for you.
That was an amazing experience to start it off. So to make that team, being from Cape Breton, everyone told me that people around here don't make BNS. Like there's just critics. You don't get time. So I just wanted to like just shut out all the haters, shut out all the doubters. And I went into the tryouts, killed the tryouts. People started knowing my name. I slowly made up to the starting lineup, and I had Romy Smith as my point guard. He's an amazing point guard. Yeah. And just the coach Matt McDonald, he just gave me like the most confidence in the world. I wasn't known as a shooter. And I remember first practice, he looked at me and said, "I want you to be the best shooter in Canada one day." And it just gave me chills because no one ever known me as a shooter. So I worked my butt off that summer, traveling 6 hours a week, or 6 hours every weekend just to go up for practices, staying with my mom. And just I made sure I was the fastest in every race. I wanted to motivate my team. That was my first season. I truly became a leader, in my opinion. I remember I was extremely nervous going into nationals because we don't have those big type of tournaments here. And like I said before, I just turned that into motivation. And seeing all the amazing talents there, I feel like I play up to the level. That's what happened for me.
You definitely turned it up a notch. I mean, I was watching one of your highlight videos and your mixtape, and man, I was telling Tim right before we started it off, I was like, dude, this guy's shooting 3 to 4 feet behind the 3-point line in front of the defender's face and then yelling at them right afterwards because he just knocked that shot right in front of them. I think it's pretty incredible because not too many people have the confidence to do that, especially as a point guard. So you mentioned that, you play at a very competitive level. You're a very competitive person. You've got that spirit in you and you have that high motivation. With that type of intensity at hand, how do you see yourself, as a true player on the team now? Are you more of a leader now, playing as that point guard? Are you a specialist in any sort of way, especially becoming a shooter? Where do you see yourself fitting?
So like at Riverview when I was there, I was a pure leader, in my opinion. I wanted to bring everyone up to my level because I had experience at like on BNS and different camps that my friends and teammates weren't able to play at. So I tried bringing that experience to them. Now that I'm going to Rothesay, it's going to be different because I'm going to have to learn to be like a listener at start just to know the way, because Coach Gay is always about like bringing the culture along. So they have some amazing leaders there. I'm going to listen as much as I can, soak everything in. And Coach said, you need to learn to be a leader just so when it becomes my grad year, of my grade 12 year, then I have to be a leader to bring the culture to the newer players.
Coby, you've mentioned to me, especially when I was writing your player profile, that you feel you're an all-around player. And when I was watching one of your highlights, I remember, if I remember correctly, one of your teammates had turned the ball over. Somebody was racing down court, had almost an open breakaway to lay it in, but you had got back in time and you were able to basically deflect the shot, just your body and presence alone. Can you describe your all-around game to us and how it's helped you become the player you are today?
Yeah, for sure. So when I was younger, I was not much of a shooter. I I was bigger than most people and stronger, so I would just always take it to the rim. I trained with a trainer in Halifax who's always taught me how to be aggressive, attack downhill. As I got to higher levels, I realized that I'm not extremely tall anymore, so that's when my shooting came in. And over like BNS, that's where like they just kept giving me confidence, which eventually led to me just becoming a way better shooter. Um, I find a big aspect of my game that people don't realize is probably my defense. My offense will not start up if I'm not playing defense. I need a steal, I need a block, I need a deflection to start the game off so I can get pumped up to hit my next shot for sure.
Very interesting that you say that. Seeing as how in today's pace of the game, it's extremely fast paced.
Mhm.
Are there any NBA players in the league right now, Coby, that you are paying close attention to that maybe resemble a similarity into your game?
Yeah, so I watch Steph just to see how he moves with the ball, just to get open because I'm a point guard. I like to shoot. I'm not trying to compare myself to Steph, of course, 'cause he's the best shooter in the world. But I kind of like to watch those type of things. Um, I train with Marcus Eden in Halifax, and he always sends me clips of CJ McCollum, even though I'm not a shooting guard. Just the way I can move with the ball and like my mid range game and how crafty he is. He just sees similarities like that and tries to show me like little tips that I can get from him to make my moves better like him. So I'd say those two.
I was even going to say, um, even looking at some of the rookie classes or the young players entering the league now, you kind of have a game to me that resembles something of similarity to Tyler Hero.
Yeah, for sure. I
Tyler
find
Hero, yeah.
find Tyler, CJ, Devin, even maybe like those type of players, I find them all like super similar. I try to craft my game around them because I find like they don't need multiple dribbles to get past you. They're not the type to have the ball for like 10 seconds to finally blow by you. They're like two moves, pull up in your face, or like two moves, hezzy, get to the basket. Like they're crafty that way, and I'm not an extremely athletic or tall player, so I need to be that way.
That's great that you mentioned that because those guys I've noticed too are very compact and they're very efficient. So every step, every jab, every dribble has to count because they're not overly tall guys
Hmm.
like yourself. Coby, you've recently announced that you're transferring to RNS. So what about the transfer are you looking forward to the most?
There's so many things. Just being able to transfer to Rothesay is just an amazing opportunity for me. Um, like obviously, probably one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to is just the competition level. Just being able to compete every single day in practice with, in my opinion, one of the best programs in the country, and have an amazing coach like Coach Gay, who just constantly there motivates players and compete with players like Samuel Muntu, Matt Pinnell, Mateo. There's just I feel like I play much better when the competition level is high, so I'm extremely excited to test myself.
You talk a lot about your mentality to the game now. Um, and I've mentioned earlier in our conversation the spirit of the game. What has it been like now, especially seeing our national team, the Toronto Raptors, win the NBA championship last season and doing it facing so many competitive teams and having to go through very, very meticulous plays in order for them to be successful? How is that type of winning mentality translated into your game now and even your mental toughness and um, your player?
Like, so everyone just so first thing like everyone doubted the Raptors at first because they're always like, oh, they're gonna choke in the playoffs, this and that. That I kind of like playing that way, being the doubted one. That's one thing about my mentality. I watched a lot of their film and just like the way that they were coached, it was just like I just wanted to be able to like be coached at like a higher level that way, not like an NBA coach, but like I found actually I'm not gonna speak about that, but I just yeah, that's my answer.
That's
I
cool.
don't about that.
Um,
That's doubted so much, but has a lot to prove. Is how you'd
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
got
for sure.
it.
Coby, as we bring our interview to a close, what's the goal next year for you?
My goal for next year and for always is just to keep improving, keep just getting better as a student, as a basketball player. I want to soak in everything I possibly can from Rothesay because there's not many people get this opportunity, so I'm very fortunate. I want to be able to make an impact on my team, help learn to become a leader, learn the culture, and just become better overall as a basketball player, become stronger, become a better shooter, everything. I want to get better at everything I possibly can.
Good.
Well, Coby, it's been a real pleasure for you to join us on today's session and being able to answer our questions and even getting to know you more. I wish you and we at Tip Off wish you a lot more success as you go to Rothesay next year.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you. And,
Coby.
Yep. And thank you to everyone that's tuning in today for our session. We'll see you next time.